Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. If you are preparing for NMAT 2025, this is an important video for you. In this, we are going to discuss the logical reasoning syllabus for NMAT. Now, NMAT is a different examination from CAT and other exams, so it has a specific syllabus, and one must prepare those topics accordingly in order to ace this exam. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for great content on MBA preparation and follow us on social media platforms for more free stuff. Now, first of all, one must understand that critical reasoning is very critical for NMAT and it consists about 50% of the LR section. Now, in different slots, since NMAT is conducted over multiple slots, the number of questions may vary. Now, out of 36 questions, some students might get 16, some might get 15, and maybe up to 20 questions also. So, ideally, about 50% of the section of LR consists of critical reasoning. And what are the topics asked in critical reasoning? You have questions on course of action, conclusion, assumptions, inference, arguments. So, course of action could be point based. They could give you some condition that something has happened and what should be the ideal course of action. So, you may have 2 points, you may have 3 points, you may even have 4 points given as courses of action, and you need to choose the right set of courses of action. Then you might have conclusion based, wherein you might be given some statement and asked that what is conclusion, and they could be paragraph based as well. Similarly, course of action could also be a paragraph based, wherein a passage is given, short passage, and you are asked the 5 courses of action that are given, and you need to choose one of the 5 options. Then assumption based questions, also point based as well as paragraph based. Inference based questions and arguments, you have different varieties. One is they will ask that which of the following is a strong or weak argument. That is one of the varieties. And another variety is strengthen or weaken the argument. Strengthen, weaken the argument. So these are the different categories, and from each category you might have 2 to 3 questions. So course of action, conclusion, assumption, inference, arguments, etc. So around 15 to 20 questions you can anticipate for critical reasoning, which is very important for NMAT. So in case you have not prepared critical reasoning, you could be in trouble for NMAT. Now next is puzzles. So you generally get 1 or 2 puzzle sets, and they would be of 4 questions each. Now what are the type of puzzles they ask? They ask linear arrangement. So some people sitting in a line, right, maybe facing the same direction or opposite directions as well. Circular arrangement, that could include people all facing inside, all outside, or maybe a mix of both. Double row arrangement, people sitting in 2 different rows facing each other. Or it could be some grid based. Grid based means that you are given that there are some person, name, profession, right, city, and some car. So let us say there are 4 people who belong to different cities and car, or like these kind of problems. So these are the different categories of puzzles, and the level is usually moderate. You will not find very difficult puzzles, but yeah, in some slot you might get a difficult one, but usually it is going to be a moderate level puzzle. And then the next type of question is input output, which is also an important topic. So it is a short topic. Okay, so these are all short topics. Input output, you can get 1 or 2 sets. Now some students might get 1 set, some students might get 2 sets also of 4 questions each. So if we draw the breakup, so it will be around 15 to question. Let us assume that we get 18 questions of critical reasoning. Then you might have one puzzle, right? It's puzzle 4. Then you might have input output, that would be, let us say, 4 or 8 questions. So some people might have this structure, some people might have 8 questions on puzzles, 4 on input output, right? Some people might see 16, 4 and 4. So it keeps varying from person to person. So typically, if you get one puzzle, you get 2 input output, or vice versa. So total, typically you have 12 questions through puzzles and input output itself. Okay, and critical reasoning can vary. Now, in if you get input output, mostly it is number based logic. So we have certain videos on our channel in which we have discussed the kind of input output that are asked in NMAT. This year also we will be conducting some sessions in which we will discuss such input outputs which are relevant for NMAT. And apart from number based, you get alphanumeric as well, in which you need to arrange in ascending or descending order. So number based have some numerical logic. To understand these kind of input output, you can check our channel for sample videos. And also in our course, we teach all these kind of uh, input output problems. So it could be numerical logic, like you could be sum of digits, right? It could be squaring of a number, it could be addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. So these are kind of the logics that are involved. And when you get alphanumeric, that is typically arrangement based. Now arrangement could be the words could be arranged in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical. So there also you can have several logics, and numbers can be in, let us say, descending order. Just taking an example. So ascending, descending, it could be based on the number of sum of digits. So you can have several logics for arranging them. Now the next we have miscellaneous topics. So primarily you will see critical reasoning, heavily critical reasoning, which is almost, let us say, 15 to 20 questions. You have puzzle, and then you have input output. Input output is also a kind of puzzle only. So you can say, let us say, 16 to 18 questions, or maybe 20 questions depending on the slot. Some might have 70. So it keeps varying from slot to slot. And puzzles plus input output, you get around 12 questions. So let us say you're done with 30 questions, or maybe 32 questions, or 28 questions. That will depend. Like sometimes you might be at 27, 30, 32, depending on the slot to slot. Then rest are miscellaneous topics. Now, what are those miscellaneous topics? You will get syllogisms. Syllogisms is a sure short topic. You can get 2 to 4 questions depending on slot to slot. Then apart from that, you get questions on alphabet or number series, may or may not come, right? Then there could be questions on order ranking. Order ranking, that could be like there are 30 people sitting in a row, a person is seventh from the left, etc. Okay, so this is more likely to come. Then number puzzles, I mean that you might be given some grid and some numbers are given to us. You need to find the missing number, or it could be some triangle, 3 numbers mentioned over here. You need to find the fourth number based on a couple of triangles. So they give you all the numbers here, and you need to find using the same logic this. So number puzzles is more likely. Syllogisms is sure short. You definitely get questions on logical Venn diagram. So what is logical Venn diagram is, let us say you are given this kind of figure, right? It says that the circle is doctor, this is lawyer, and this is the number of teachers. Okay, and they will give you some numbers and ask that how many people are all three, or lawyers but not doctors. So those kind of questions are logical Venn diagram. Okay, then you have questions on blood relations. Sometimes you might get questions on blood relations, directions, calendar. Last year I had in my slot, I had one question on calendar. So these are the miscellaneous topics, out of which syllogism is certain, logical Venn diagram, and that typical Venn diagram, which is like set theory based, that is asked. So you can get like 4 to 5 questions from this, and some miscellaneous. So it could be number puzzle, it could be order ranking, alphabet or number series, blood relations, directions, calendar. So it's a mixed bag of some of these topics which are picked. However, these two, the ones which I have ticked, are sure short topics. So you must know the topics and prepare them accordingly so that you can do well on this section. If you are preparing for NMAT and SNAP, we have a course which is dedicated to these examinations, which covers the syllabus of these examinations in detail. The description has the link of the course. You can enroll in it. The live classes are starting from 2nd of June, and it covers 200 plus hours of live classes. So the entire syllabus will be covered through live classes. The recordings will be available till validity of the course. The course is valid till 31st Jan 2026. So in case you are appearing the NMAT in January as well, just in case they open another window, you will have access to these classes. You will have practice sheets for all topics so that you can revise the concepts that we are discussing in the class. Doubt resolution by mentors, exam specific topics. As I said that we cover those particular topics which are tested in the examination. So for both examinations, we will be covering the entire syllabus. Each small topic that has been tested in NMAT and SNAP will be covered in it. 15 NMAT marks on the latest pattern and interface. See, the NMAT interface is very important because NMAT has a special interface in which you can choose section, and there is no back button, right? So it is only next, no previous button. So only next button is there, and you have that order of section. So with sectional timing, etc., we have this interface. 20 snap mocks, and they are on the latest pattern of 2024. Apart from that, you will also get access to our English grammar practice course, which has vocabulary, grammar, etc., which is asked in NMAT and SNAP, which is not covered in like typically in the reading comprehension, or also if you're preparing for CAD, you may not be preparing for these topics. So we have a separate practice course for it, and critical reasoning course, which has 25 tests into 20 questions on NMAT interface. So to prepare you well for this, because critical listening, as we discussed, that it is about half of the LR section. So it will give you a good practice, and based on the type of questions asked in NMAT. And medium of instruction is going to be English, strictly English, because you are targeting MBA entrance examinations. We expect you to know basic level of English. Plus, we have students from all over the country, especially if, even from the states where Hindi is not a prominent language. So English will be the medium of instruction. Now, if you're preparing for NMAT and looking for just the mock test, we have NMAT mocks on the latest pattern and difficulty level, and on the NMAT interface. You can check out our mocks. There is one free test as well, right? The link is given in the description of this video. You can check our free mock to understand that how NMAT interface looks like. And we, as I discussed, that we have NMAT CR test also, so you can purchase them separately. So we have 25 tests of 20 questions each, because generally in a paper you have around 15 to 20 questions. So we have taken the higher limit, that is 20 questions. So 20 questions, 25 tests, and you get the kind of questions that are asked in NMAT. So this was the LR syllabus. Please do watch other videos related to the syllabus of other sections for NMAT.